Okay, first off, I wanted to show you my cold frame right now.
We're gonna keep it low-key, keep it softly spoken, with no strings tying you to me. I'm happy in your company with no emotion, 'cause my love deserves to be free.
These are the tomato plants that are in like small cups. I'm going to try to show you. But these are the ones that I didn't have room for. Let's see if you can see down in there. Not very well. Okay, there's one. There's a cup down there. This one didn't do as well. It's still alive, but they have grown down into the ground. This is a smaller one, but there's more down there. So the tomatoes are in this size containers. They are not proven winners. I am just reusing because I like to reuse. And I need to dump this water because they're going to get waterlogged. But I'll do that in a minute. And so they're in there and they're thriving. They have actually grown down into the bottom of the cold frame, and there's some tomatoes in there. There's not as many as there are in my other ones, but again, they were not planted in the ground. They didn't have the same, I have not trellised them or done anything. I've just let them grow, and here they are, growing out and loving life. You see the tomatoes down in there. There's only a few. I have hand pollinated a couple times, because I don't think the bees are going all the way down in there. They don't really have a reason to. But once that it starts getting colder outside and everything else starts dying back, I'm going to push them back in there and see how many tomatoes I can get after the frost, or after it starts getting cold outside. So that's going to be a good experiment. I talked about this before, which it's kind of junky because I left some of these pots out, but it's kind of a mess right now. The tomato plant has grown up. Now I'm not getting anywhere near the amount of tomatoes on this that I'm getting on my other ones in the front, and that makes sense because it was kind of overpotted, which that's a sacrifice you're going to make if you're going to overplant something. Then it's going to be slower to produce. It's going to be stunted a little bit because it doesn't have enough root room until it does. But I did plant some beans down here, and then we've got mullein that's popped up as a volunteer. We still have the what is that? I can't remember. We have the peppermint here, and then what is that? Periwinkle? Yeah, it's periwinkle. I've got one flaxseed here, and then these are the dried ones, which have the flaxseed in them already. Let's see, it's in there. So, yeah, I wouldn't ever harvest that when it's wet, though. I'd only harvest it when it's dry. So that's that spot. I have started my fall garden plants here, and I do have a tendency to overplant. As you can see already, I've overplanted my broccoli. That's popped up, and then some of my spinach just popped up too. But you know, if it starts getting root bound, that's when I start changing out or separating them out. Sometimes I'm lazy and I wait, and then they get stunted and it takes a long time to grow. So those are the sacrifices that I'm willing to accept for overplanting, because I want to have more plants in less dirt. Because at this point, with COVID-19, I don't have a whole lot of money, but I do have a lot of seeds. So seeds are food for our family. So that's why I'm just going to go ahead and plant as many seeds as I can, and I will get as much as I can. And what I don't get, then I'll just move on, and count those like cents that I spent on those seeds as a loss. So this is a pumpkin. I've already harvested one pumpkin, and there's another green one behind there. But it's doing well. The leaves kind of look interesting. I think it's kind of pretty, but I know it's probably because it's lacking something. But pumpkins were volunteer. I planted them from a pumpkin that kind of sat in the ground. So I'm just letting it go, and what I get. My son likes the pumpkins. It's fun for Halloween. We can carve them, things like that. So these aren't good. I probably will not eat them. I've heard, I don't know. I might eat them. I don't know. I'm still deciding on that. I've heard that if it cross-pollinates, then there's an issue. I don't have anything that it should be an issue with, so I might be fine. Anyways, this is just the sweet potato vine, the lime one, and so it's not edible, but it's pretty. Will I plant that again here? I don't know. I mean, this would still look pretty with just the pumpkin, so I don't know if I'll do that one again, but I might. I don't know. We'll see. We've got cabbage. These are cabbage that these are cut and go, because again, there's too many of them in there for it to actually make a whole head, but it's very root bound. I've got hyssop here, and that's a good bee food, and it's also good for, if you make it into an oxymel, it's good for cough. Again, research that, make sure you're not allergic, things like that. I'm not a doctor. I've got some zinnias here, and this one's seen better days, but there's a lot of blooms on it, so hopefully after this rain they'll start blooming. I put some green beans here because I really wanted some green beans to can for the fall. I think that's a nice thing during the winter to just pop open and eat some green beans with some chicken, and then it's pretty cheap meal. Here I have my cabbage. Ooh, yay, this is popping back up. I can't remember what it is right now, but it's a beautiful flower, and I was worried that I killed it. Ooh, yeah. I was worried that I killed it, but it's still alive, yay! So I think the cats walk through here and trample it, but it's alive, so I'm glad about that. And then I think the rain might pour on it. There's some lettuce. This cabbage, I am going to try to let it get big in the fall. We'll see how that goes. This guy's been eating, all this has been eaten again by the slugs. I need to put some deer traps. But I've eaten a lot off of this during the year, and you really can't tell because, well, you can tell because they're so small. And there's only a few leaves on each. But I'm kind of letting them get bigger right now and kind of produce more before I start harvesting from these, because I have the bigger cabbage, which I'll show you in a minute. I have Damiana seeds in this one, and I've got one little plant here, and he's doing okay. And then this guy is a tomato plant, which is leaning, and it's not doing the best that way, but it's still got plenty of fruit on it, and it's being propped up by this, so I decided to leave that. And then these are beans, which are about to be done. Well, I don't know, I've got a green one there. I think it's black beans or Great Northern beans, one of the two. I've got some dill up here, and then my beauty berry, and then I put some peas down here, so those hopefully will grow soon up into the trellis. But I've got the tomato plants, which are over there, are kind of branching through here, and I'm letting them trellis up here just to give them more sun and room so I can get more tomatoes. Soon I'll have more tomatoes than I can even imagine. So beautyberry, dill, and then I've got citronella, which I dry and then put in an oil for bug spray for the next year. And I've used that this year. The mosquitoes were getting really bad, and so I just I'll explain to you in another video what I did with that oil and how I made it. And that one, I feel like is safe, so I will go ahead and share that recipe with you in another video. But the cucumbers are doing really well here. It took them a really long time to come to fruition, but they are, you know, they're doing great. I've gotten probably 6 cucumbers on here. Yeah. So I also want to share with you, this is my little buddy. He's a praying mantis and he likes my garden. He's been hanging out all summer and he probably has some friends, because I saw one on the other side the other day, or just yesterday, so I doubt that he came around, but he could have. Hi little buddy, how's he doing? Hi little buddy. He likes to look at me. Hi, are you doing okay, Hus? Are you doing okay right there? Right by a little cucumber. I'm sorry I say so much. I have a hard time with that. Let's see. This is ashwagandha, and I've got 3 plants in here, which might be too much. But if it's growing, I'm letting it. I need the roots. I had to take that every day as a supplement. So this is my, like, didn't take it for a few weeks, and man, I was really struggling. So this is my go-to. It's an adaptogen. Look it up, research it, see what you think about it. But it has helped my anxiety and my mental clarity. I mean, I do say a lot. I do stop to think a lot, but it's so much worse when I don't have ashwagandha in my system. So ashwagandha, and then I've got another ashwagandha plant there, but it's in a terracotta plant. It got stunted because I don't think it got watered enough, because it said that it was drought tolerant, and it was in more sun. So I'm going to see if that one grows. If not, you know, it doesn't, whatever. This is a toothache plant. This is vital for our family because my husband goes through abscesses on a regular basis. Like he has one right now. But these buds, you just pick them off, you dry them out, you put them in, or no, you don't dry them out. You put them in a tincture, which is just alcohol that's 80 proof to 100, which this is my recipe. Look it up. Make sure that that's what everybody else does that you've talked to and stuff like that. I'm not the best. This is my first time. I even said in the last video I wasn't going to share that with you, but this has been a lifesaver for my husband because it helps with the infection as well as the pain. It numbs your mouth. It doesn't last very long, but he can repeatedly put it back on when he's feeling like it's too overwhelming, the pain. And so if we did not have this plant, he would be going to the ER a lot more, and he hates going to the doctor. I do have an echinacea way back here, and it is starting to bloom, so I'm excited for that. We will see what those look like. I've got 2 blooms on there, which I picked the baby blooms off because I wanted more leaves, but they are not producing any more leaves, so I'm just going to let them go. And then back there is the ice plant, and I'm giving up on that guy. My son likes him, so I keep him, but he's way behind everything. And then I have a bean plant here, and then of course you can see the cherry tomato plants are like thriving over here. It took longer for these to develop because they have a lot less sun, but they are protected by the awning a little bit, and so when they're protected by the awning, they get less blight. They don't get knocked over as much, which means that they're not going to get as broken, which they have not been knocked over, but they've kind of made their way. I gave it the trellis, and then I kind of weaved it in at first, and then I kind of am letting them go. I have put some back here, and then I put some on this trellis with the cucumber. So hopefully soon we'll have lots of cherry tomatoes, more than we can even know what to do with. Hopefully we can make some sauce and things like that with them. So that's this side of the garden plus the cold frame. and we're 13 minutes in. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here. If you guys want to see my other side of the garden and then my front yard, then go ahead and click the like button and then subscribe so you can see more videos. If you're enjoying this content, at this point I'm mainly doing garden videos of like garden tours, and then giving you little tidbits along the way. I love it when they've got these pretty blooms on them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So come back and see me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.